Hello, welcome to my series where we look for low market cap coins that are going to take off 10, 20, 30x, just like Doge. So in this video, we are going to be deeply diving into a coin called ANKR. I think it has some serious potential to take off, so you really don't want to miss this. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So just like any trading, you want to understand that this is something that I do. This is a stock that I like. These are decisions that I am making. Make your own decisions. Don't follow my advice. I cannot give you financial advice, so don't take it like that. So that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this. So before we get into ANKR, I want to make sure we understand the current situation of the alt market. Since ANKR is an altcoin, we want to make sure that the alt market does look healthy. So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. There's a lot going on. If you've seen my previous updates, you know that this is a very important chart, and the first one I look at any of my videos. So recently, or actually last night, we lost this weekly breaker. This weekly breaker is dropping to the downside. So let me explain what this chart is real quick. The higher the percentage, the more money is in Bitcoin compared to altcoin. So if it's a high percentage, that means more money is in Bitcoin, and a low percentage, that means more money is in altcoins. So if it's dropping, that means that money is moving out of Bitcoin and into altcoin. So as you guys can see, we've had a massive drop over the last month or two. So because of that, lots and lots of money is moving from Bitcoin into altcoins. So if you've been trading like I have, an altcoin trader, you've been making a lot of money. And this is the chart that really helps you understand why. So since we have officially lost this level, I expect this to continue going down. Fantastic signs for all the alt market and specifically for ANKR. So the next one we're going to go over is the total 2 chart. So the total 2 chart is the total market cap of the entire crypto space except for Bitcoin, okay? The total chart has Bitcoin included. The total 2 does not. This chart looks fantastic. So between the Bitcoin dominance chart and the total 2 chart, the altcoins are on an absolute rampage, and for a dang good reason. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, I'm going to show you a little more on this. So as you guys can see, we have had a very nice movement up. We turn into a channel, which is a corrective structure, and now we've broken back to the upside. We have some really great interactions with this breaker right here. We came from the bottom side, rejected, tapped this breaker, went back above it, and now we're currently starting on our movement up. So overall, this chart looks absolutely fantastic. Actually, at the time of this video, Ethereum is doing some incredible things right now. So because of that, the total 2 chart and the Bitcoin dominance is just continuing to drop, which will further our case for ANKR just continuing to explode. So now that that's all out of the way, so we have established that the alt market is very bullish. So now let's specifically look at ANKR and see where we're at. So what I'm going to be showing you guys is exactly how I decide whether or not a chart is bullish or bearish. There's a very specific strategies that I use. I do not look at fundamentals or news. Instead, all I look at is what this chart tells me and nothing else. It keeps me unbiased and makes sure that I don't have any emotional attachment to this chart. This chart does look really well, and I'm going to be able to show you guys very quickly as to how. So whenever you do this, you want to zoom out to the very highest level you can. And on this one, I'm going to go ahead and make that the monthly level. So this is the monthly level, and you guys can see what the US dollar pairing looks like, okay? The first thing we want to do is we want to annotate all of our monthly opens and closes. So that's 1, that's 2. I'm going to annotate each one of these ones. Monthly open and monthly open. So the monthly opens do get interacted with quite a bit on the chart, so you want to make sure you annotate that. And then what we're going to do, we're also going to annotate the last 2 weekly opens. Only the last 2. That's a weekly open. And then this is a weekly open. So this makes sure that we have all of our high time frames established for the opens. I'm not going to worry about a daily open simply because that it's probably not going to have that much significance over a long period of time. So we're going to really ignore that for right now. Now back to the monthly chart. Do we see anything here of any value? Any sort of breakers or any of that? No, I don't. We've already had this massive impulse to the upside. So all the price action that we may be interacting with, or any of this price action down here, I really, really do not foresee us interacting with anytime soon. So because of that, we really don't have anything on the monthly chart. So let's go to the weekly chart, see what we have. So as of right here, we do have some interaction. Nothing too crazy. This is possibly considered a breaker. That being said, it's such a large candle and it covers so much of the area. I'm not going to mark it right now. Okay, so we're going to go and disregard that. On the RSI, let's see how we're looking on this. You guys do see that we had some pretty strong volume on this increase, and we have decreasing volume on this consolidation. That is very healthy. This is called a bull flag. Even though the structure doesn't look great, this is definitely an impulse and a corrective structure. So anytime you have that, you would assume the next movement to be up. Now understand, this is a weekly chart, right? So this takes a long time to play out. So other than that, RSI looks pretty good. It is high, which is really great on this part. So you see how the RSI on here is higher than it is over here. That means that we had a lot of strength on this movement up. Very, very good. Now let's go to the daily, see if we have anything else. Now we're starting to get the meat and potatoes of this actual chart, and we can start marking off some levels. So over here, let's go ahead and get our rectangle feature out. And I like annotating any breakers on this chart that I assume will provide support or resistance further on. So this right here is a clean breaker. Now for a breaker, what I'm looking for, a breaker is a break in price action. So as you see, this is a solid downtrend. Over this course of time, it is a downtrend. Well, this is a break because it goes down and it breaks back up before it continues back down. As you see right here, we once again break right here before continuing down again. So I like that. I'm gonna label that for this breaker. Over here, I think this is a good breaker. The reason why, because it goes up, break in price action, continuation up. Nothing else really stands out on the breakers levels, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like this. Now, while we're on the daily, I do want to look at one thing. We always want to know where our 200 moving average is at on the daily chart. So the daily 200 moving average is way down here at about 4 cents. I do not expect it to drop down to this level. However, if it does get down to this level, you do know that that would be an absolutely incredible buy if we get there. I don't see it happening, but either way, we're going to go ahead and just make sure we have it in the back of our mind. Now, another breaker I do like is this massive breaker right here. As you guys see, we have this uptrend, a downtrend, consolidation period, and then a continuation up. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and annotate that. Wow. Well, now that we annotated that, you guys see that we did get a pretty dang solid interaction. This breaker held up this price. This was the spot where it rebounded. That's great. I like this a lot. So because of that, this is a very bullish movement, and anyone who had bids placed in here got an incredible, incredible opportunity simply because this breaker existed. So if you got on that, awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Now, the other thing I'm going to annotate out is we have this level right here, okay? As you guys see, it came down here, back up, and down below it, and then closed back above. This is the previous low. And this candle right here and this candle right here did what's called sweeping. What that means is the price action went below it and then closed the same candle above that price action. So a lot of people, what they do is they place their stop losses right below the previous low. So anyone who had their stop losses there or decided to short the market expecting for the downside got activated. It went down. They either closed their short positions or they had them open too long and then they got liquidated back on the way up. The point is, these liquidations and these stop losses have been tapped. So that's actually a pretty important thing. So this is called a swing failure pattern, okay? Swing failure pattern. And then once again, we had another one. However, this was not as significant because the liquidity was already tapped on this drop. So this one isn't even that important. The key is we did get this sweep, we did get the close, And that is also a very bullish candle right there, which did result in continuation upside. Furthermore, if you guys want to zoom in on this, you guys can see we did have the increase in volume on the path up. And then we did have a decrease in volume with a slight downward movement with this. So downward price action with a lowering volume is actually a bullish indicator, okay? That is a bullish indicator. Some people also like to call this a bull flag or a bull pennant. Either one is absolutely legitimate. Just understand that this looks like a very healthy market structure right here, very healthy. All right, let's go to the 4 hour real quick, see what else we have on here. One thing I definitely am going to take notice of is that we have a very clear trend line that has been established for quite some time. Let me get that actually set up. There it is. There's the trend line I was looking for. Okay, so I know it obviously has some wigs to the upside and to the downside. However, the key is that this trend has been maintained really, really well, as you guys can see. So it constantly keeps interacting. Now, this right here is what's called a deviation from the range. I don't like that, actually. I'm going to get rid of that. But this is called a deviation from the range. And it's also considered a bear trap. Okay, bear trap. Like I was telling you, all those shorts that got activated, they probably got trapped in this movement because that is a very strong movement. It did go below this trend line. And after that was activated, it actually becomes a very bullish structure once it reclaims. So bear traps, once they reclaim and then get back above that previous level, it is a very bullish sign. So far, lots and lots and lots of bullish indicators, guys. I really do like this. So, what else do we have on here? Let's see. So, let's see. On the 4 hour chart, let's see if we can find any other breakers that I want to annotate off. We have this right here, I think is a pretty solid one. Okay. We have, and like I want to make sure to make this clear, the reason why I'm annotating this, I don't just want to tell you guys, I want to teach you guys, right? So the reason why I'm annotating this is because we have downward movement, and this right here is going to be the break before continued downward. So you technically could consider this entire block as one, but I think this is more of a localized area that also covers a lot of this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and call it that. What other breakers do I see? I sort of like this as a point of breakdown. I think that makes sense. This is a point of breakdown. That's a point of breakdown. This is a point of breakdown. And then I think this is also a solid point of breakdown as well as a breaker. I think I'm pretty happy with this structure. Okay, so overall, I think that I'm pretty content with all the levels I have marked off on this chart. I know it's a lot and it looks really confusing, but we'll go through there one bit at a time. Now, before we do anything though, we now need to go to the BTC pairing. So we're going to go to the BTC pairing, look at ANKR. Similar structure to the previous one, but it's different. So in case you're not aware of what this means, is ANKR to the US tether or US dollar pairing is how much ANKR can you purchase with US dollar, US tether. Now ANKR BTC is how much ANKR can you purchase, or vice versa, how much BTC can you purchase with one ANKR. Obviously it's very, very little amount, right? So you can only purchase 0.0000299 BTC with one ANKR, which is okay because ANKR is such a cheaply priced coin, and BTC is so incredibly expensive, right? But this still does make a very tradable pattern, a very tradable chart that you can trade. So we're going to do the exact same thing we just did, except in the BTC pairing, so we can get a full analysis of everything that's going on. So the first thing we did was what? We went ahead and annotated all of our monthly levels. I know this seems very repetitive, but you have to understand, everything that I do, the things that I teach you guys, is going to be systematic, consistent, and completely based upon logic and rational thought. We don't trade upon emotion, and we want to make sure we get everything listed off. Monthly open. Monthly open. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do our weekly, right? Because we have nothing really here that makes much sense. Now, first thing I do want to take notice of is we do have more volume on this increase than we have on this increase. That is our first partially bearish sign. That is a bearish indicator because the volume isn't as much. Nothing too concerning yet, but it's definitely something to take notice of. However, ooh, this looks really good. So although we do have less volume, we do not have a bearish divergence because as you guys see, this high to this high and this high to this high is higher. This is a higher high on divergence on RSI and as well as a higher high on the price action. This means that we do not have a bearish divergence or on the weekly chart of ANKR BTC. I'm going to go check the US dollar pairing. I'm actually really curious on this. The same thing. Wow, guys, this is really good. So just like the previous chart, we do not have a bearish divergence on the weekly chart. That is very, very healthy looking, guys. That means there is a lot of strength going up on here, and we are not losing strength compared to this movement over here. The volume over here is also increasing. All right, this is actually a very, very bullish signs. I like this a lot. Let's go back to the BTC pairing. So ANKR once again. I think I have it way down here. All right, on the weekly, do we have any breakers we want to go ahead and list out? This entire structure, this entire candle right here is definitely a breaker. However, it is so massive, we're going to go ahead and ignore it. Let's go to the daily, see if we have anything here. On this chart for a breaker, you have that movement. That's more of a 2 week. I really don't like to trade 2 weeks. I'm going to go ahead and ignore that. I have this as a breaker. I think that's basically it, guys. And then for the daily chart, that's all we got. I'm going to check the 3-day real quick, see if we have anything else. It's not a bad one, but we already have it annotated. So now let's go to the 4-hour. All right, so on the 4-hour, let's see what we've got going on here. This is a pretty clear breaker. I like this. Yep, I do like that. Over here, nope. This is a clear breaker. That's exact same breaker as here. That's interesting. But regardless, though, this is a very solid level, so I'm going to go ahead and annotate it twice, make it super purple. Yep, make it super purple. Make it very obvious where this one is at. That's a breaker. This is a breaker. Lots of breakers right in this area, guys, as you see. And that's nothing wrong about that. This is a clear breaker going up. And then if we move over here, let's see if we have anything else I want to really look at. We have the downtrend. We have this entire region is definitely a breaker. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I think I'm pretty content with this chart. Okay, so now we have all of our levels marked off on the BTC pairing and the US dollar pairing, okay? So now let's go ahead and start analyzing this and really trying to see if we're really missing anything or really anything else we're really missing at this point. So let's go ahead and zoom out again to the 1 week. Just like before, this is very clearly a impulse up with a corrective structure. So it is doing what's called a flag on the US dollar and the BTC pairing. That's very, very good, okay? So usually what that means is that if you're going to have an impulse up, yeah, go ahead and get rid of this line, extend right line, then you're also going to have a consolidation pattern, and usually you're going to have another continuation, and it's going to generally be the same length, around the same length as that. That's usually what the expectations are. So impulse up can be some sort of flag, impulse up, and as you guys see right here, we have an impulse up, a flag, continuation upward. That's what we're expecting. And over here, the same exact thing. Where's that sucker at? There it is. Impulse up, consolidation, impulse up, right? That just makes sense to us. So that looks very healthy. Let's go back to the daily again, see where we're at right now. Let's do some profile. Let's do some volume analysis. See if we can find any hidden bullish divergences or things like that. Let's see what we can get on here. No hidden divergences I see. As far as, let's see, what else am I looking at? Higher high. This is a higher high, but it's also a, let's see, higher high. But this is going to be also a higher high. Okay, so there is not a bearish divergence on here on the US dollar pairing at all. This looks pretty good, guys. Like I'm really trying to find a bearish case here, and it's really tough to find right now. Let's go back to the ANKR BTC pairing. Is that a high? Nope. Is that a high? Nope. This is also a low. Okay. This is a low. This is a high. We have a slight hidden divergence up here. It's very slight though. I'm not really. Let's go on a lower time frame and see if we can do it on there. So this is a low. It's a higher low, which is also low, okay? And there's that. There's a very, very slight hidden divergence right here, which means that this is a higher high on the lows, and this is actually making a lower low on the same levels. It's very slight, but it does exist. Let's see. I think I see something here. Let's make sure before I verify. I think I see some bit of a... Okay, I think I consider that a little bit of a trend line. Nothing crazy, but I think I can definitely see it. Is there a trend line over here as well that I can make out? You know, a little bit. I think it's not beautiful, but I think it helps illustrate our pattern. You know, I don't hate this. I don't hate it, guys. I think it is sort of flagging out. It's not beautifully, but I think this is a little bit of a flag. So we would hope that if we're bullish, we're going to break out of that on the upside. And we are currently ranging between these two levels. So we have the monthly open as well as this daily, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure it's a daily. Maybe it's a weekly. No, it wouldn't be a weekly. Maybe a 3-day. No, 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hours. So we have this 4-hour breaker that's providing resistance. But on the downside, we have a ton. We have this 4 hour here. We have a daily right here. We have another daily right here. No, we have 3 4-hour breakers right here, all holding the price up. So 1 4-hour breaker, 3 4-hour breakers. So simply because of that, and because we have this pennant after we have this bull flag after this, I think the logical assumption is that we're going to be able to break out of here. That would make sense to me. So in the low time frame, I think this looks pretty bullish, honestly. And then let's go back to the week again, see if there's anything else I'm looking at. The structure looks very healthy. I think it looks very healthy, guys. I honestly do. Yeah, I think it looks very healthy. So that's the BTC pairing on the US dollar pairing. Let's see what we have on here. ANKR. Let's go to the daily. Right now we have swept it, haven't we? High of 19, high of 18. No, so it's not been swept. So we got, ooh, this looks like a pretty decent level. So let's go ahead and go to the 4 hour real quick. Yeah, I think I like this. Oh, I think I like this a lot, actually. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we do actually have some sort of a trend line. It's currently breaking down. However, we still have time to get back above it, which I think is very reasonable. So I don't think this is that bad. Yeah, I don't like this. I like this a lot. So here we have a trend line. We're currently breaking down. That being said, I'm not that concerned. Depending upon exactly how you draw the trend line, I think it looks okay. Maybe like that. Yeah, there you go. I like that. We have time to get back above it, which I think is very feasible in the amount of time we have. Even if we do break down from here, I think we also have quite a bit of support right below us. So we do have this 4-hour breaker here, and then we have a daily breaker right here. We have the monthly open below it. We also have the weekly open below. So I think we have a lot of things here to hold the price up. Also, just considering on how bullish the alts are as a whole, I think we have a really damn good chance of actually keeping this up. And even if we lose all this, realistically, the structure does not look bad. And we do have this trend line here to continue holding us up. Let's go back to the daily. Yeah, I like it. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So my expectation for this coin, due to the overall macro of this coin, is continuation upward. The volume profile, the flagging, the market structure, everything looks great about it. To couple with that, we do have the alt dominance, the total 2 chart showing a lot of strength right now. Overall structure looks fine. The volume profile looks great. I think it looks really, really good. So let's see what we think is a realistic targets for this structure. Let's think of what makes sense for this structure. And the easiest way for us to try to figure this out is to go to what's called the Fibonacci Extension. Okay, so we're going to go down here to around the bottom of this impulse, probably around like here. Go back up to here, and then you go down to the very bottom, and we try to get ideas of what levels make sense for a movement. Usually you want to target first the one-to-one extension, which is right here at the 31 cent region. After that, you're looking for the 1.618, so the 44 cent region. Then you want to start looking at the 2.618 region, 3.618, and 4.618. Those are all very realistic targets, and especially for how bullish things can definitely do move in the altcoin market. Don't be surprised if we vastly overshoot these levels. So depending upon what your risk tolerance is and how you are trading, what type of trader you are you going level to level, or are you doing spot trader? You might want to take a little bit off on the one-to-one. Yeah, you want to take off a little bit out. Oh wait, I think I messed this up. I moved the whole thing down. That's why I'm about to say, what is going on? That doesn't make any sense. Let me fix that real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I was about to say, what is going on? This makes no sense. Let me lock this in place. Doesn't go anywhere now. Oh, did it again. What is going on? All right, let's lock this in place. Done. Okay, so if you want to take some profits over here at the 31 cent region, I would take off a little bit. I think that's a very healthy amount. Take off a little more profits, the 1.618, and then take off like a couple percent or every so at each one of the 3.618, the 4.618, etc., all the way up, right? And I think that would be a pretty healthy idea. So the other thing you can look at is you want to sell at signs of weakness. You don't want to sell too early because, as you guys can tell, let me go to DOGE real quick and give you an idea of how incredibly more powerful these alts have to go. Just to give you an idea. So a very realistic expectation for extensions is going to be from the top down here, right? And just like we did before, 4.618 is right here. But DOGE, so DOGE actually got all the way up to the 4.618 before retracing, okay? 4.618. Yep, there you go. So as you guys see, it got all the way to the 4.618, and it's still continuing to move up, okay? So it did reach our high side targets over here on the 4.618. However, I fully believe that DOGE is going to hit $1 to $2 pretty soon, honestly. I really do believe that. So just to give you an idea, ANKR has not had this sort of movement yet. Okay, ANKR right now on the same time frame is like here. Okay, that's at the 4 cent region, and we know that DOGE went 10x from this position. So don't sell too early. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Wait until there's a solid sort of a pullback or sign of weakness. Look for those bearish divergences and things like that. If you follow my channel, I will keep you guys up to date on what to expect. I do a market update basically every day, and ANKR is one of the ones I do go over every day. So make sure to sub to the channel, make sure to like it. Keep up with this, and I will make sure you guys don't make any massive mistakes and try to keep you guys up there on the charts. So outside of that, if you guys have any questions, like always, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Thank you guys.